Welcome back to Becoming Jason Update. I was completely shocked by the reaction everybody had from my first video, Becoming Jason, where I cosplayed as Jason for the first time. And everybody that commented, I just want to say thank you. You guys are just awesome. I mean, there was mostly positive reviews for the video, but there was some negative, and that's fine because, you really need to hear the negative with the positive. And then, of course, there are a few people who just wanted to get on there and rant about whatever because, well, it's YouTube. But for the most part, I was really shocked by the complete support everybody had for me playing Jason. And I think it's great, not just to see that the horror franchise is still alive, but the Friday the 13th franchise is still alive, and there's so many Jason fans still out there. That's fantastic. So I realized when I finished the first video that it was basically, me creating the Jason costume, and it ended with that. So I wanted to get on here and expand on what it was like to be Jason, and what it was like to cosplay for the first time. So I've been to Dragon Con about 3 or 4 times now. Every time I've gone there, it's one of the greatest places I have ever been to. There's something always happening at Dragon Con. And that's what's so great about it, is there's always something unexpected that happens there. And I know this is going to sound weird, but it's the type of place where I can feel normal. There's so much imagination walking around there, with so many amazing costumes and so much love for the genre of the horror genre, the comic book genre, and the science fiction genre, and the movies and the TV, and it's just spectacular. And that's really where I feel like I'm at home. Like I said, I really want to get on here and talk to you about what it's like to cosplay, what it's like to cosplay as Jason, for those who's never done it, and maybe for those who has done it. And it'd be interesting to hear your stories as well, so if you have any really cool cosplay stories, put them in the comment section below. Okay, so first of all, my wife also cosplayed last year as a character from one of her favorite video games, Borderlands. So I spent half the summer creating guns for her, painting guns, creating the costume for her, and along with that, I was also creating the Jason outfit. And I know what you're going to say is, how much can you actually put into a Jason outfit? Well, quite a lot, actually. As you can see here, I bought the Jason cowl, and I bought a blank mask, and of course I painted it and everything, and that was what was on Becoming Jason. So if you haven't watched that, go ahead and check that out, and you can see how much effort it took to actually become Jason. So my first advice for people who want to cosplay is, say if you're going to go to Dragon Con for the first time, I wouldn't cosplay the first time out of the gate here. Go there, have fun, walk around, look at everybody else's costumes, take pictures with them, see the celebrities, go to the panels, and just have fun. Because if you do cosplay, which I found out last year, you basically become a celebrity yourself, and you can't really enjoy it completely if you're participating in what's going on. So I've always wanted to cosplay, and of course, Friday the 13th is one of my favorite slasher films of all time. Jason is one of the few characters I can probably pull off better than most other characters because I'm like 6'6", 6'7", so I'm pretty tall, and I'm pretty much built like what Jason was. I definitely could not pull off like a Freddy Krueger or an early Michael Myers because they were like 5 foot tall and weighed like 120 pounds. So Jason was always my first pick to cosplay as. So we get to Dragon Con, and my wife actually went there for a photo shoot with everybody else who was going to dress up in the Borderlands outfits. Probably 150 people there that were dressed up like the Borderlands characters. So it's sort of like standing in the middle of a real live video game. So when I went there, and I said this on my other video, is I wanted to become Jason. I wanted to be Jason. I just didn't want to be a guy walking around in a latex hood and just lumbering around. I really wanted it to look like he had just walked off the screen and he was standing there in front of you. I based the Jason that I played from Part 4. Now, if anyone who's watched Part 4 would know, the first thing is that Jason had these long black fingernails. And I always thought that was really cool because it showed that the people who were making the movie actually invested time into thinking what Jason would look like. Here's a guy who doesn't have nail clippers. He's not going to be clipping his nails all the time. So, of course, I went and I got press-on nails. Again, I could have probably just painted my fingernails black and it would have been okay, but I was like, okay, well, Jason had these long fingernails in the movie, and just black fingernails wasn't going to do it. So I did get my press-on nails, painted them black, more like brownish black, I guess. And that was probably, to tell you the truth, the most uncomfortable thing about playing Jason was those nails. It's like I couldn't pick up a cell phone, I couldn't use a cell phone, I couldn't dial anything on it. I really had a problem going to the bathroom trying to unzip and zip my zipper with those nails on. Eating was a problem. I couldn't pick up anything to eat. So I don't know how anyone can actually have long nails like that. I guess you can get used to it after a while, but it was really uncomfortable. So I'm sitting there in the lobby while she's out there taking her pictures with the other group, and I have the Jason mask and the cowl in a backpack. And I'm wearing the shirt, you know, got the fingernails on, got the pants, the shoes, and everything. And the thing is, you can walk around like that, but without this, nobody has no clue, as you just look like a regular person. As soon as you put this on, though, you know, you're Jason. So I'm sitting out there in the lobby completely nervous and starting to think, okay, you know, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to dress up. Then a friend from Twitter found me sitting there in the lobby, and it's weird because he can find me no matter where I'm at. If there's 100,000 people, he always manages to find my wife and myself. And I told him, I was like, you know, I'm starting to chicken out. I don't think I'm going to cosplay. And he's like, well, I know how much time you've been putting into your costume and everything, and he's like, why not? Everybody else around here is dressed up. I mean, that's what you came here for. So between him and my wife dressing up, you know, it really sort of inspired me to just say, okay, screw it, you know, I'm going to dress up as Jason. So as soon as she came back in from her photo shoot, I told her, I was like, all right, I'm going to go put my Jason outfit on and cosplay. So I go into the bathroom and pull this out of the backpack, put the hood on, put the mask on. And you really kind of need two people to adjust the back of the mask and get it into the shirt and, you know, make sure the mask is on correctly and everything. So I came out and my wife, you know, adjusted the cowl and the mask and everything. And so I started walking around and I had the oddest sensation. First time ever doing this was, okay, I am dressed up as Jason, walking around in probably 100,000 people, and a lot of people didn't even look at me, and I just thought, it's just so odd. But it was a really cool feeling, putting all this effort in and then doing it. So the big problem with this is sweat. Now, I'm in Atlanta, end of August. It's still probably 100 degrees outside. We're inside of a hotel, which the hotels there are spectacular. I mean, they are amazing hotels. There's usually 3 of them that the convention expands into. This thing is like skin tight. When I put this thing on, it's super skin tight. And the thing that really made me nervous about playing Jason in the big crowd was there was like no other people there playing horror characters. I didn't see anybody. There was no Freddys, no Jasons, no Michael Myers. There was nobody. So the first time I made a trip around the entire hotel, by the time I got around the first time, I was dripping with sweat. And the thing with this mask is there's nowhere for the sweat to come out of. It was actually coming out of the chin of the mask. So I had a small waterfall of sweat coming down the chin of the mask, and it actually did peel away some of the paint down here as well. But it was fun. I mean, I actually enjoyed walking around as Jason. I was like, wow, this was actually pretty cool. And there was a couple of people who stopped and took my picture and you know, took my picture with me and whatnot. So then later on in the day, I decided, okay, well, I'm going to do it again. So this is more or less towards the nighttime where everything gets really crazy around there. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, and if you didn't know, because I'm actually building a full-size TARDIS, which is also on the site if you want to take a look at it. So somebody had built a full-size Dalek there, and of course I had to get my picture taken with him. And that's one of my favorite pictures of me as Jason standing there with Dalek. But then I did run into an actual horror character. It was Sam from Trick or Treat, except he was, you know, very tall. He was very tall, Sam. And I come walking up to him, and he had either a girlfriend or his friend or whatever was standing there. And she's like, oh, hey, look, it's Jason. And the guy's like, what? Because he couldn't see because they had this big head on. And he's like, oh, Jason, yeah, I gotta get a picture with him. So I got a picture with Sam. And I can't believe I didn't take video of me walking. I took pictures, but no video. And I still don't know why I didn't take any video. I didn't even think about it. So as I walked around the second time, then a lot of people wanted to start taking pictures with me. And I think the best compliment I got was this guy came up to me. He's like, "Oh, dude, can I take a picture with you?" So I stood there and took a picture with him. And then afterwards, he just kind of stood back and looked at me. He's like, "Wow, man, just wow." And that was a really good compliment. It felt great. It's like all this hard work I put into this costume, you know, it really paid off. And then I had some other people take pictures. There was this one woman, she was dressed up as somebody from Star Trek, and she was drunk, and she was trying to falling all over me, taking a picture with me, and that was pretty funny. And then I had somebody wanted to interview me, and I looked this up on YouTube, and I couldn't find the interview, so I don't know if they ever posted it or what, but she actually like pulled me aside, and she had a cameraman with her, and they were asking me questions like, you know, what it was like to kill people, and you know, why did I choose like teenagers to kill, and just weird questions. And of course, playing the character, I just stood there and looked at her and didn't answer any of the questions. So that was fun. I mean, I had a blast playing the character. My only regret was that I didn't play more than twice. And as I was walking around, I did see one other Jason, and it was some guy, and he had like a foam mask on, sort of like the mask that I got when I bought the machete. It was just a foam mask. Guy was wearing regular clothes, full head of hair, and he just had the foam mask over his face, and that was it. I mean, that was his Jason costume. And I looked at it, and I was like, you know, as much time and effort as I put into trying to be him, he's walking around, and somebody's like, "Oh, hey, look, there's Jason." And I'm like, So I came away from this whole thing wanting to cosplay as something else. And a lot of you on the comment sections wants me to become Michael Myers. There isn't a whole lot to the Michael Myers character. I mean, you buy the mask, and then you get the jumpsuit, and then that's it. And then, you know, there isn't a whole lot of becoming Michael Myers. It's very simple. I love the challenge of Jason of painting this mask and getting the right clothes and you know, getting the fingernails and painting my hands and getting the right shoes. And, you know, I still framed every shot of Friday the 13th Part 3 and 4 to see what kind of belt he was wearing, to see what kind of undershirt he was wearing, to see what kind of shoes he was wearing. I mean, I looked at everything. And if I did play Michael Myers, it would be Rob Zombie's version, because that's about the closest I could play him. So if anyone out there is wanting to cosplay, like my friend told me, nobody's going to look twice at you because everybody's walking around in costumes anyway. And, you know, you basically, if you have a decent enough costume, will be asked quite a lot to get your picture taken, and that's so flattering. It's so amazing, such a great feeling to have somebody stop you and say, "Hey, can I get your picture with you?" And if you're at a con for the first time and you see somebody that you really think is cool and you're sort of afraid to walk up to them, don't, you know, because the people that are dressed up are there because they want to have their picture taken with you, because that's why they're there. You know, they want you to be recognized for all the work they do. So don't feel afraid to walk up to somebody and have your picture taken with them. So hopefully I can come back soon and making another becoming video of maybe Michael Myers. As I'm recording this, it's only another month until October, and there's a bunch of Halloween stores popping up all over the place. So I may go and see if I can find a decent Michael Myers mask. I'm going to try to bring you many more becoming videos because I think you guys really enjoy them, and I really enjoy making them for you. So until next time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so in case I do make another one, you won't miss it. And another big thanks for everybody who commented and watched my last video. You guys are just fantastic. Love every one of you.